Hello, future programmers. Welcome to my channel Teen Tech. Sorry for ghosting you guys. I know that wasn't cool, but life got too busy, motivation even went low. But passion of me never left. I am back now, ready to post regularly and give you the content you deserve. Thank you for your patience. Let's continue this journey with a new beginning. Before we have learned about all the operating systems, how the PC works, and now I have got you a new topic which is programming. From this programming, firstly, we learn about the introduction of C language. Okay, so now coming into your topic, so what is firstly we'll introduce about C language from where it have came. So, C is a general purpose programming language, which means we can use it to write many types of programs. Here, C is a widely used programming language which was developed by Dennis Ritchie in 1972 at AT&T Bell Laboratories in USA. Here I have mentioned it. You can note these points in your notebook. Before C, there was a language called B. This B came from another language called BCPL, which means Basic Combined Programming Language. Here, B is developed by Ken Thompson in 1970, and this BCPL developed by Martin Richards at Cambridge University. So here the order is, let me show you another slide. So what we have told is C is developed by Dennis Ritchie, and B is developed by Ken Thompson. Here Dennis Ritchie developed this C programming in, sorry guys, Dennis Ritchie has developed the C programming in 1972, and Ken Thompson developed the B programming in 1970, and BCPL, that is Basic Computer Programming Language, right? So this is developed by Martin Richards at Cambridge University. So here firstly the order is BCPL and then B and then C. Firstly here the BCPL was developed, and then B has influenced by BCPL, then B is developed by Ken Thompson at 1970, and C is developed by Dennis Ritchie in 1972. Here, C is called a middle level language because it has high level features, that means easy to write, and low level features, which is a direct memory access that I have mentioned here. C is often a middle level programming language because it supports both high level features and such as functions and structured programming. Because I have told you before, it has high level features, that means it is easy to write, and low level features such as pointers and direct memory access, right? Next, coming to our next slide, why do we learn C? Because it has many advantages, such as I have mentioned, C language programs are efficient, fast in execution, portable and structured. So C has many inbuilt library functions. This C program executes very fast. C has only 32 keywords. I'll show you that, and you have to enter in your notebook so it's easy to remember. So C provides many operators, and it is also a portable. For suppose, let me decode you a program written on a system. One can run on another with little change. I have mentioned you. Written on one system can be executed on another system with a little or no modification. Right? Due to these features, the structured programming, that means programs are divided into functions or blocks. Right? Did you understand? Okay. C is very easy to learn. C is as case sensitive and it supports pointers. And recursion. Recursion is nothing but function calling itself. Here there are C has a very powerful features. I'll explain you guys later. And now coming to our next slide, which is C tokens. Here C tokens are nothing but if, just like English sentences have words, right? These C programs also have small units called tokens. Tokens are nothing but the smallest building blocks of C programs. So these are 6 types. I have mentioned you in a passage of text, individual words are called tokens. Right? Similarly, in C program, the smallest individual units are known as C tokens. A C program is formed using different types of tokens. I have decoded you and told you in a simple way. So let's get into another slide and let's talk about the types of C tokens now. So there are 6. First one is keywords, identifiers, constants, strings and operators. So firstly, let me decode you about the keywords. So firstly, keywords. What are keywords? Simple, I'll give you a simple definition. Okay. Keywords are simple and special words in C that have a fixed meaning. Let me decode you in a simple way. These words are already known to the C compiler. So we cannot change their meaning and we cannot use them for naming variables or functions. Right? Let me give you a example even. Firstly let me tell you why are keywords important. Keywords tell the compiler what to do, whether to store data, whether to make a decision, whether to repeat a task. Without keywords, C programs cannot work. For example of keywords, int, float. Here I have given int, float, if, a while. Now let me tell you all this int, float, if, while. What are these? So where were we? These keywords tell the compiler what to do, store data, make a decision, to repeat a task, right? So first let me tell what is int. Int is nothing but it stores integer values. And in float, these are used to store decimal values. And if, used to check the condition. And while, used to repeat a block of a code. Now These are the examples, and I have told you each and every use of an example. Now coming to important rules. Important rules. Okay. These are nothing but keywords have predefined meaning. Important rules. These keywords have predefined meaning. And these keywords cannot be used as identifiers. And these keywords only written in a lower case. These keywords have 32 keywords. Let me show you those all keywords. Do write in your notebook along with me. So first one is auto. Second one is break. Third one is case. Fourth one is character. Constant. Continue. Default. Do. Double. Else. Enum. Extern. Float. Fur. And these are the 32 keywords. Please do enter in your notebooks. Now coming to another token, which is identifier. So identifiers are names given to the variables, functions, arrays, etc., which is a very important concept in language. Whenever we write a program, we need to name things like variables, functions, arrays, names, etc. These names are called identifiers. Let me tell you a simple definition. Identifiers help the programmer and the compiler to identify and access memory locations easily. Okay, let me write you definition here that you can understand very more easily. So identifiers helps the programmer and the compiler to identify and access memory locations easily. So this is a simple and precise definition that I have told. Now, why do we need identifiers? Imagine if a classroom where no student has a name, how will the teacher call someone? Similarly, to store a value, we need a variable name. To call a function, we need a function name. These names are called identifiers. Now, let me tell you an example. Here, int sum. float, total, int, main. Now here sum is variable identifier. Total is also a variable identifier. Main is a function. These are few examples of the identifiers. Now, coming to the third topic of C tokens, constants. Now, first we'll understand this clearly. A constant is a value that does not change during program execution. Okay? Here I have written constants are fixed values that do not change during program execution. What is a constant? For example, simply I'll decode you. A constant is a fixed value whose value remains the same throughout the program. Let me tell you in a simple way. If a value should never change, we store it in a constant. For example, 10 3.14 a, sorry guys, so 10 3.14 a and hello. This is an example of a constant. Why do we need constants? For example, your date of birth never changes and your roll number even never changes throughout a year, right? Similarly, some values in programs should not change. Those are called constants. There are four types of constants. Let me tell you about those. First one is integer. Second one is floating point integers. Third one is character. Fourth one is string. So let me tell you firstly about integer. Integer constants are whole numbers without decimal points. For example, 10 minus 26 or any number, whole numbers without decimal points, right? This is an example. Now coming to floating points. Floating points are the constants of a numbers with a decimal point. Constants are the numbers with the decimal points. For example, 3.14 minus 2.5 or 3. Any decimal points or any decimal points that are being are called floating points. And here 0.11 and even. Now coming to the next one is character. Character is a single enclosed in a single quotations. single character enclosed in single quotations. For example, A, C, any special character even. These are the characters which are enclosed in only a single quotations. Now coming to another one is a string. A group of characters. Here single character I have told. Character is a single character. Only one letter or a single special character is enclosed in a single quotation. String here a group of characters. Enclosed in double quotations. For example, let me show you an easy example. Hello and apple, like these are the group of characters, group of letters in a double quotation form. Okay, now coming to our next slide. Strings I have told you before. Strings are a sequence of characters enclosed in a double quotation marks like these. I have shown you an example even. Now coming to the fifth one, which is operators. Operators is a very important and so easy. Let me explain you, let me decode you in a very simple way. So operators. Operators, there are many types of operators, but we learn them step by step, okay? To add numbers, compare the values, or make decisions, we need operators. Without operators, programs cannot do calculations or logics. Okay? So let me tell you firstly what is an operator. An operator is a symbol that tells the compiler to perform a specific operation. In simple words, operators are the symbols used to perform operations on data. Here, let me show you with easy example. A plus B. Here, plus is the operator. A and B are the operands. Okay. Now coming to why operators are needed. Why? Why do we need operators? To add numbers. Why? To add numbers, compare values, or make decisions. Without operators, programs cannot do any calculations or logic. Here there are types of operators in C. There are many types of operators. So first one is arithmetic. So here used for these arithmetic operators are used for mathematical operations. Firstly, plus, which is addition. Second is minus, which is subtraction. Third one is into, that is multiplication. Fourth one is division, that is division. And fifth one is modulus. Modulus, which is also called a remainder. Okay. For example, let me show an easy example, you guys. C equals to A plus B. Okay. Now coming to second one. This is first one and this is second one. Second one is all about relational operators. So first one is greater than, second one is a less than, third one is greater than equals to, fourth one is less than equals to, fifth one is equals to, and the sixth one is not equals to. Okay. For example, let me give an easy example. If A is greater than B, this is the second one, which is relational operations with an example. Now coming to third one, logical operators. First, here there are two simple itself. These are used to combine the conditions. So first one is and, second one is not. For example, let me show you. If A is greater than B and A is less greater than C. So this is a condition. Okay. Now coming to the fourth one, which is assignment operator. ASSIGNMENT, assignment operator. Here this is used to assign the values. Okay. For example, A equals to 10. A is an assignment which is assigning a value for the 10, right? Okay. Now fifth one and the final one. Increment or decrement. Plus plus is increment and minus minus is decrement. Let me show you an example. A plus plus is an increment and a minus minus is a decrement. Now coming to the sixth, special symbols. Here special symbols are the characters used in C syntax. Let me decode you in a simple way. What are special symbols? These are the characters used in C syntax to perform special tasks. For example, here I have written your curly braces, parenthesis, comma, and semicolon. Firstly, let me decode you all in once. Okay. Okay. First one is curly braces, right? These curly braces are used to define blocks of code. For example, let me show you an easy example. If A is greater than B, here we have to print a statement. Let me print here a statement. Printf A is greater oh sorry A is greater. See, I have printed curly braces to define a block. That means a statement is here block. So here curly braces up and one curly braces which is closed is down. So this is use of the curly braces. And now coming to the second one, which is parenthesis. So these are used in functions and conditions. Functions and conditions. For example, let me show you. I have a statement written here, print f is greater than. So here this parenthesis shows functions and conditions. These are the most important in the C language. If these are not, the program will confirmly show you the error. Even if the, what do we say these? Sorry guys, what do we say these? Okay. Special symbols are very, very, very important in this C language. Next one is square brackets. Here these square brackets are used in arrays. This is a very simple concept, and in marks, let me show you an example. It is an example. See, an array, storing an array used in arrays. This is a square bracket used. Now coming to another one, semicolon. If a C program is, if it is doesn't ending with the semicolon, it is of no use writing your program or code. Let me show you. Each and every line of a program is must end with the semicolon. For example, I'm entering the integer values a equals to 10. These must end with semicolons. Now comma, it is which separates the variables. Let me show you. Int a comma b comma c. So comma separates the variables. Now coming to hash, which is a most important and the starting point itself. Hash. These are used in preprocessor directives. Preprocessor directives are nothing but, let me show you. Preprocessor directives, which means hash include stdio dot h, hash include conio dot h. So these two are the preprocessor directives which starts the program in your coding. Now these are the special symbols. So these are the special symbols, and this is the topic of ours today. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to the next video. We are gonna learn many and much more videos. From here, I am gonna post everyday one. If you want the channel in Hindi or Telugu, please do comment down that I will surely post and another channel. So thank you very much for supporting us. Stay tuned to the next video. The next video is gonna be so exciting one. Thank you.